Okay, so never in my life did I ever picture myself making this video. I am currently waiting for this Veet hair removal cream to do its magic. And I thought it was important to kind of share my story of why I don't shave with a razor anymore. I use either Nair or Veet, some sort of hair removal cream. So this is not really a super interesting story. Excuse me. If you are not someone who wants to sit here for 5 minutes or however long this takes while I de-hair my armpits, feel free to move on to the next video. I am wearing a bra currently, just in case you were wondering. I'm not nude. There is a bra there. So the reason why I do this is for safety reasons. Ever since high school, I used to use a razor, okay? But after I started having seizures, before I was diagnosed with my seizure disorder, for those of you who don't know, I started having seizures when I was either a sophomore or a junior in high school. So it was towards the end of my education, my general education, K through 12. But after I started having seizures, for a while I still used razors, and I was very afraid, well, nervous, afraid, whatever, of cutting myself. So I had this fear that if I was to use razors, then I would somehow end up having a seizure while I was shaving, and I would end up like cutting myself super bad and like really hurt myself. And so that is like the main reason of why I don't use razors anymore. Like even for my legs and any other area of my body that I shave, I do not use a razor because I am that nervous, like that level of anxiety, because like I said, I don't want to end up slicing and dicing myself, which is definitely very possible when you are somebody that has a seizure disorder. It can happen. I have known people, friends of mine, who have seizure disorders that they ended up really cutting themselves really badly because they were in the middle of shaving and, you know, weren't able to drop the razor beforehand and ended up like really cutting themselves. I think my one friend, she was cutting her legs or shaving her legs and ended up like cutting herself really badly because she started having a seizure as she was like mid-stroke pulling the razor up, shaving a strip of her leg. So the reason I'm holding my arm up is because I don't want this cream to go all over the place. So that's why I have my arm up like this. But I have found that if you are somebody that has a seizure disorder like me, Nair or Veet, this is the one that I'm using now. I've used Veet for years. There's also a Nair that has like, I think it's baby oil or something in it. And I think it's lavender. It's a dark blue / purpley color of the tube. It's not as big as these. I got Veet because you get a lot more in this than you do in the Nair bottles, and they're the same price. So I figure Veet works just as good, and they give you this little plastic scraper thingy. So I use either Veet or Nair depending on what's available at the store when I go, and I sit here, I wait for 5 minutes, and then I run this thing down my armpit or my leg. I have a washcloth to make sure that I wash all of the Veet off of my skin because my skin is sensitive to different fragrances and stuff like that. And plus I just want to make sure that I get everything off because you're not supposed to leave it on for more than 10 minutes. But like I said, I'm not embarrassed to share these types of things with you guys. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be here like shaving my armpits on YouTube for everyone to see. But I think it's important to let people know what people with different chronic illnesses or medical conditions have to deal with. Different things that people with seizure disorders have to worry about that maybe somebody else who has never had a seizure before and never gone through anything like that would not ever have to worry about. So if anything, this video is to generate awareness around seizure disorders and some of the different ways that people like myself have to move through life. Now, could I shave with a razor? Probably. But like I said, just for my own peace of mind, I choose to use a hair removal cream instead. Because like I said, even though it has never happened, I've never cut myself to that level. I do know people who have, and so it still makes me very nervous to even think about the possibility of that happening. So that's why I find it easier to just use these hair removal creams. So if you guys have any other questions about my medical conditions or other ways that I handle life with a seizure disorder, please feel free to ask away. I am a very open book, and I'm more than willing to share my story with you guys and the way that I move through life. Like I said, life with a seizure disorder is definitely very interesting, and it can be a very rocky road and very trying sometimes too. So anyways, I need to go finish this, and hopefully you guys learned something today. And like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'd be more than happy to share my thoughts and information that I know. So with that being said, I will talk to you guys next time.